Hey everyone, welcome to this session by Intellipaat. I hope you had a beautiful day and my name is Anirudh, and in this session we're going to check out how we can go about becoming a big data engineer. Well, before we begin with this session, make sure to subscribe to the Intellipaat's YouTube channel and hit that bell icon so that you never miss an update from us. And on that note, here's the agenda for today. We'll start out by taking a quick introduction to big data, and after which we'll understand why handling big data is so much more important in today's world. And after this, we'll check out all the skills that's required to become a big data engineer, and I'll walk you through a step-by-step guide on how you can become a big data engineer, guys. And after that, we can check out some salaries, and these are some amazing salaries, guys. And at the end of it, again, as every live session we have a surprise planned out for you at the end of the video, so make sure to stick till the end to make full use of it. On that note, let us start with the first item on the agenda. It's introduction to big data. Well, before we start with big data, we need to take a step back to understand what data actually is. Well, data is actually, defined as raw facts and raw statistics, basically, which is collected together at one point, basically gathered to use for further analysis. So when we mean by data, guys, most of the time there is a misconception that data is something, it is a useful entity as it is. Well, to be honest with you, it is not. Data is a raw entity. It can be unruly at times, it can be unstructured, and can be difficult to work with. And when you make use of data, when you process the data, then we get something called as information. And this information is definitely the one that the world is after at this point of time. So coming to the type of data quickly, we have images, we have data from Excel sheets, music is a type of data, videos are a type of data, guys. Anything you can think of, there are types of data which can, pretty much be generated on a daily basis. And, you might think it is not data at one point of time, but at the end of the day, it is. So coming to what big data actually is. Well, guys, big data, again, as the name suggests, is huge amounts of data. Well, this is actually, there is a thing. Basically, what I'm trying to convey is that, 1 terabyte worth of data can be big data, 2 gigabytes can be big data, and of course a huge network, such as YouTube, Google, where they see terabytes worth of data every second. That is also big data. So it is actually known to be, entity with respect to that organization, with respect to a particular commitment of size that they handle, that their capacity is, where they term it as big data or not. So basically, they are large data sets which can be analyzed computationally. And why do we do this? Well, we do this to ensure, we can reveal lots of patterns, lots of trends, associations, and everything. And the best part is this is all done to see how we can relate human behavior and make use of computers to do it faster for us, and to see how human interactions with respect to the world of computers and handling data can be reduced drastically, guys. So on that note, again, when we talk about big data, it is a compulsion that we need to understand what big data analytics is. Well, big data analytics is nothing but the process of, again, examining this huge amounts of data that we actually find. And again, the goal of big data analytics is to find some patterns, market trends, customer preferences, among many other things, which basically are the end goal of working with big data, guys. So you might be wondering why, data is an issue in today's world. Well, I am going to explain on that completely in a couple of slides from now. But here's it in a gist, guys. So the first point is huge amounts of data is the reason data is a problem today. Because again, when you think about it, imagine buying a 500 gigabyte worth of external hard drive, or even a 256 gigabyte memory card, for example. So that storing data is actually expensive in today's world, right? So if 500 GB is expensive to you, 1 terabyte worth feels expensive to you, then imagine the companies which generate terabytes every single second or every single minute. Now think about storing all those data, right? So again, it's not just storing one type of data that causes the issue, it is the variety of data, because there are thousands and thousands of formats through which data can be saved. There's unstructured data, semi-structured data, structured data. Guys, there are types of data again, but these are the umbrella terms under which we have defined data, especially when we have to work with it. And again, data comes from a lot of sources at the same time. And it is not just that. Let me give you an example again, as I've been mentioning terabytes for a while now. So let's say you want want to process 2 terabytes worth of data in a network, and you have an input output channel which basically supports transferring 100 MBs every single second. And to pretty much process these 2 terabytes of data, you will take 6 hours for just 2 terabytes worth of data. And I told you that every company, all the big Fortune 500 generates terabytes worth of data every single second. Well, if 2 terabytes will take you 6 hours to process, now imagine 1 terabyte generated every single second for the entire day. I hope you guys get my point at this. So what do we do about this? Well, here comes the savior. The savior is a big data engineer, guys. So who is a big data engineer? Well, simply put, a big data engineer is a person who actually builds what a person called as the big data solutions architect has designed. So the big data solutions architect will find a way to easily handle all of these data, easily process all of these data, store it, and later work with it, guys. So a data engineer actually builds what this person has actually designed at the end of the day. It's just like, an engineer building a house. Well, it's not the exact engineer who lays the bricks and plays with the mortar. He plans it out while, there are people who build it at the same time. So think of it that way. So what do engineers do then? Well, engineers actually develop, maintain, test, and evaluate all of these solutions with respect to each organization that they work in, guys. So designing a solution, maintaining a solution, maintaining a solution such that it solves a problem, and eventually evaluating to see if the problem is solved is one of the big tasks of a big data engineer. So how is the flow of data in an organization, guys? Well, simply put, a data engineer is the first line of reception of data. By that, what I actually mean is that, when a company wants to have new data into it, it is only through the data engineer that the data comes into the organization's servers, networks, and whatnot. So this person is responsible for being the first line of reception of data from multiple sources. It can be from Twitter, it can be from an SQL database, it can be from any of the places that you can imagine, guys. So after this data engineer, picks up the data, works with it, processes with it, and much more. So he basically sends the data to a data scientist, and this data scientist will gather all the information got by the data engineer and help convert all of this raw data into information, as I just mentioned a couple of slides ago. And after a data scientist, actually a data analyst comes into the picture, who pretty much goes on to create very good visualizations of all the information that was just converted from raw data by the data scientist, handed over by the data engineer, guys. So this is something which happens in all of the organizations that you can think of. So I have a quick question for you, all of you guys right now. So do you guys use social media? Do you use Facebook? Do you use Instagram? And do you use Twitter? Again, guys, I'd like to mention, just like every live we have here at Intellipaat, you guys love to head to the comment section and do let us know what you guys think about everything. So guys, right now, hit that comment section. What social media that you guys actually use? Because here is why. Here is what a big data engineer will do for each of these organizations. Let's consider Facebook. There are 2.3 billion active users every month on Facebook, and this relates to 250 billion photos uploaded to Facebook, guys. This is the total number. But then when we talk about this number every single year, every single day, it is 350 million photos. Guys, 350 million. Imagine storing all of that on your phone or your portable hard drive, right? So again, this will generate 4 petabytes, guys. We are far away from the terabytes right now. This is a petabyte. A petabyte is worth 10 lakh gigabytes. 10 lakh. And we were just talking about 1,000 gigabytes 10 seconds ago, and look at us now, 10 lakh gigabytes, guys. So imagine how big data engineers at Facebook are handling all of this data. And most of us use Instagram, I am sure. Well, here are some of the statistics, guys. 40 billion photos are shared, 95 million photos every single day, 500 million videos every day, and this generates, again, petabytes worth of data is stored, moved, worked with every single day in the Instagram offices, guys. Obviously they do have data centers and servers across the world, but then how this data gets into their servers? Big data engineers. So when we talk about Twitter, there are 6,000 tweets every single second across the world. And what does this tell us? 500 million tweets a day. So imagine the skills and the quality you will need to handle all of these data, guys. Again, these guys see terabytes worth of data, but then when you talk about terabytes, it'll obviously grow a lot every single day, guys. So it is one simple tweet that the world puts out, but it causes this much of circus in the back end. So data engineers at Twitter are doing an amazing job handling that. So on that note, we need to check out the skills needed to become a big data engineer, guys. I have three very important skills that I need you guys to know if you're looking to become very serious about big data, because big data is one of the most trending jobs in today's world, and it is a very lucrative career as well. It will pay you a lot. So guys, I request you all to pay attention to this particular couple of slides from now so that you can take away the maximum out of it. Coming to the first important skill that you'll need, there are some of the tools which are actually needed when you have to work with big data are a lot. They have a lot to do with Apache's networks. I'll tell you why. Because you'll have to know something called HDFS. It's called Hadoop file system. You need to know Yarn. You need to know MapReduce. You need to know concepts like Pig, softwares like Plume, Zookeeper, Uzi, HBase, Mahout. Guys, again, if you do not know any of these software, that's pretty much I'm talking about right now, you do not have to worry, because with a good certification program, you will become professionals with real life project experiences with respect to all of these, guys. Everything on this particular slide, every word you read, Solar, it can be Lucene, it can be Uzi, it can be Ambari, it can be Zookeeper, it can be Yarn. So everything you read here has one specific purpose. It does in making data handling an easier job across the world. And the second important skill you will need is SQL knowledge, guys, because again, big data is all about handling data and processing data. Having the knowledge of SQL queries and SQL commands are a must, because this will teach you how you can go about working with databases which actually store the data. And again, when we have to get back a little bit about Hadoop, which is step one. So the Hadoop ecosystem again has multiple software. It has Hive, it has HBase, it has Pig. Basically all of these data, pretty much extract data from the HDFS, which is the Hadoop file system, using sequential query language and all the queries that come along with it, guys. And third of the most important skill that you need is knowledge of programming languages. You will have questions saying if I require any programming languages. Well, guys, yes, you would require programming languages like R or Python, and this will make you your career into a smooth sailing boat in the world of big data, because again, learning one of Python or R can be very good to the world of big data. So we would suggest you start with Python, because R has a steep learning curve. It is basically used by data analysts and data scientists, but again, it is used to work with large amounts of data very easily at the same time. So working with Python or R, again, they are beautiful languages all on their own, and it is amazing to work with them. So pretty much you will need one of these languages to go out, guys. So if I have to tell you the skills in a gist, you're going to need to work with SQL and Python. You're going to need some cloud computing knowledge, AWS, which is Amazon Web Services, or Microsoft's Azure. And after this, if you have skills in Scala, if you have skills in Java, this is a huge plus in the world of big data, guys. So this brings us to the quick step-by-step guide that I have to give you guys, pretty much on your way to put you on a fast-track path of learning to become big data engineers in today's world. So here are a couple of steps which are very easily put so that all the spectrum of viewers in today's video can understand what's going on. So guys, here is step one for you. So the step one involves a lot about data structures. As you can see, that's my highlighted keyword right there, because you will begin the world of big data by learning data structures, understanding data structures in a huge amount of detail. Well, why do you do this? Because again, if you're using a lot of algorithms to help work with your data, if you know what correct database what correct data structure that you have to use, this will drastically and exponentially improve the performance of the algorithms, guys. So it is a must that you have data structures. Guys, whip out a pen and paper, or make sure to visit this video again after this live session to ensure you get all the steps in the particular order. So that brings us to step number 2. Step 1 was data structures. Step 2 is the language of SQL. Guys, as you might have already know it, SQL is the biggest name when we have to work with any form of structured data, right? Because again, construction of queries, and basically we write queries in the world of SQL. So these queries are used to, basically manage our databases and manage the data present in the databases. So we'll be doing a lot of querying to the databases to extract all the data, and extracting data in the world of big data is inevitable, right, when you think about it. So the big advantage of SQL is that even the biggest data warehouses support SQL, guys. We have Amazon's Redshift, we have Oracle, we have HP Vertica, and much more who support the usage of SQL. So learning SQL is a very important step too. And this brings us to step 3. Step 3 is where you have to understand all the tools. Basically, I spoke to you about a lot of Apache tools, right? So this is where you'll have to understand. So why are these tools used? Again, they used to store and process large amounts of data at the same time, guys. Scala and Python are very good languages to start with. Again, these are huge numbers in the world of big data, if I have to put it in a sentence. Scala promotes parallel processing, where you can access tons and tons of data parallelly at the same time, while Python brings about convenience and ease of use, guys. So Scala has its own advantage, Python has its own advantage, and if you know both, you just bring the best of both worlds to the world of big data. Think of it that way, guys. So you have Scala, Python, Apache Spark, you have Kafka, you have Cassandra, you have Hadoop, and multiple tools that you have to go on to learn. And step number 4 is a pretty simple one compared to the other steps, because here you'll be working with a tool called as HBase. Again, it's from Apache, and you'll be understanding its architecture as well. So you do this basically to understand how data storage works in HBase, guys. And after you have understood HBase, again, you'll be go on to, learning what is the difference between HBase and an RDBMS. An RDBMS is a relational database management system, and it is very important and vital that you guys understand the difference between an RDBMS and a HBase, guys. And after this, again, step number 5 is very important, because you will be scaling your big data solution to the clouds, to the skies, if I have to say, because working with one cloud platform minimum is a very important requirement. It can be AWS, which is Amazon's Web Services, it can be GCP, Google's cloud platform, it can be Microsoft Azure, and so much more. Basically, these 3 are the huge names when we talk about cloud computing, because at the end of the day, if you're using all of these, you have Amazon's EC2 that you can learn, you have AWS Lambda, you have Amazon's S3, you have DynamoDB, and you have all of these at your hand, guys. So you'll upload data from multiple sources into an S3 bucket, and pretty much after that, you're going to use something called as Amazon EMR. You're going to transform all of these data, you're going to cleanse the data, and later you're going to pretty much load the cleansed data back to S3. You're going to use Amazon Redshift to load all these data in parallel by optimizing it, guys. So we basically optimize it to ensure we get fast analytics. And after that, you can use QuickSight. QuickSight will give you a quick analysis and visualization of all the data, basically by making use of the tool called Amazon QuickSight, guys. So step number 6 is very important, again, because again, we're making use of distributed systems. So at this point of time, you might have worked with one single system, you're scaling that one single system to the cloud, and it's well and good. But right now, you need to understand what multiple systems can do for you, because you will not be storing tons of data on one single server, guys. You'll be scaling it throughout the world. So you need to understand how clusters are created, clusters are managed, how communication takes place from one cluster to the other. So gaining systematic knowledge on how to build a modern infrastructure is extremely important in the world of big data as we talk about it. And this brings us to step number 7. This is the last step, and this involves having something called as data pipelining. Data pipelining is to understand how data can flow through, just like how water flows through in a pipe, in a very structured way, because you will be building the actual process which is going to deliver the data from one process to another. This is done by making use of APIs, SQL queries, and various storage repository technologies, guys. Again, this is involving structured data, and for unstructured data, we have something called as data lakes, and much more at the same time. So understanding data pipelining is extremely vital. And guys, I urge you guys to take a snapshot or note down this particular slide at this point of time. We begin with data structures, later we check out SQL technologies, followed by Python and Scala. We have Apache's HBase, Amazon Web Services, distributed computing, and guys, at the end of it, pretty much Working with distributed computing is everything that you have to know, because again, just knowing distributed computing or the basics of it will not make any sense. And this brings us to the most important part of a big data engineer's journey. It's the average salary, guys. Again, I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds, so make sure to head down to the comment section and let me know what you think is the average salary of a big data engineer. So I hope you guys are putting down some comments, and my team is standing by answering all of your queries, guys. So here are the average salary numbers. A junior big data engineer in the United States gets about $90,000. In India, it's about 8 lakhs per annum, and in the United Kingdom, it's about 40,000 pounds, guys. And then when we talk about a big data, senior big data engineer who's experienced, he gets about $121,000 in the United States, 13 lakhs per annum in India, and 60,000 pounds in the United Kingdom, guys. Again, these are very important numbers. It is extremely easy to get here with the right certification, with the right experience in hand, and with good hands-on in projects and in real life scenarios, guys. And in fact, here is one slide where I can tell you what is the salary of a person who just knows one of these technologies which involves big data. Pretty much as I told you, an engineer gets $121,000, a big data architect gets $123,000, someone who can work with Flume gets $127,000, Hadoop $126,000, Hive, we have HBase $131,000, MapReduce $132,000, Spark $110,000, Splunk $113,000, Zookeeper $123,000. Guys, again, take a note of this slide and know that this is a very lucrative career, as I've been mentioning for a while now. And in fact, here are my final thoughts. See, Bill Gates has put out an amazing quote which absolutely everyone loves. He said, "How you gather, manage, and use information will determine whether you win or lose." In a world where we are data driven, it is extremely important to stay at the top of our game at all times, guys. This involves ensuring you can gather data, manage, and use it very well, or you're gonna lose in the race. And guys, do know this is one of the most trending jobs in the world today. Make sure to check out our top 10 trending jobs and top 10 highest paying careers videos on the Intellipaat YouTube channel after this video to get a very clear picture of what I'm trying to tell you guys here. And then coming to further learning, you're like, Anirudh, okay, so at this point of time we have followed through, and we want to become very serious in the world of big data, or in fact any other informational technology concept. So what do we do, guys? As you all know it, an investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. So there is no other investment that you can do which will pay you more in terms of interest other than knowledge, guys. So I urge you guys to pretty much check out all the other channels we have to give you guys multiple tutorials, well-made videos, and amazing blogs. So here we have a comprehensive YouTube channel at Intellipaat where we are taking in video requests and pretty much catering to all of the learners to the best that we can. And we have an entire Intellipaat blog channel set up where again pretty much we have subject matter experts, software architects, and a lot of researchers who write blogs on a daily basis, just like the videos we put out on daily basis, to help you guys in case if you guys are more into reading blogs than videos. And we have an Intellipaat community as well where we get thousands of people asking technical questions, non-technical questions, any questions regarding the world of information technology. And we have a wide range of ages, guys, all the ways from the people in school all the way till senior citizens who indulge in the world of information technology and love to hang out. So make sure to check out the Intellipaat community page, Intellipaat blogs, and of course our YouTube channel, guys. So on that note, as I promised, let me quickly guide you through the Big Data Hadoop certification training provided by Intellipaat. This is one of the most well put together courses that our learners have told us, because again this will help you pretty much clear various examinations, because at the end of it you will master MapReduce, Hive, Pig, Scoop, Uzi, Flume, EC2, and so much more. You learn about RDD, Scala, Spark, machine learning using Spark, Spark streaming, and much more, guys. So the key features of this course include 60 hours of instructor-led training, 85 hours of self-paced videos, 120 hours of project work. As I mentioned, guys, do take a very important note of this, because here at Intellipaat, we believe you need project works, you need hands-on experience with respect to industry level projects that will actually help you, which will add on to the learning that you will have in our training. And basically, this is one of the reasons why we have a comprehensive project work section. You will get certified and you will have job assistance, flexible scheduling, because again, we realize not every one of us might be free at one point of time, right? So you can call us up and we can work out a schedule for you. And then we have lifetime free upgrades. So 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now, or in fact 2 months, 3 months from now, any timeline you pick, the course is available with you forever, guys. So this is the 24/7 lifetime access, lifetime support, lifetime upgrades that we promise here at Intellipaat. And again, coming to the course curriculum, you'll start out by checking out how you can install and set up Hadoop, how to set up a cluster, introduction to Big Data Hadoop. Again, you'll check out MapReduce, Hive, Advanced Hive, Impala, Pig, Flume, Scoop, HBase. Guys, you can click on any one of these concepts to get everything in detail that's mentioned. You can even see our hands-on project with respect to that particular module of that concept, guys. And after this, again, you can download our entire curriculum, so make sure to check out the entire curriculum out. And we also publish the projects that we actually get you to work on. You can find out the industry in which this project is used, what the problem statement is, how you can go on to solve it, and the highlights of that project, guys. Again, it is very comprehensive and it is very well structured for a learner. You might be a beginner, you might be an intermediate learner. Again, check out this. We have guys, as I'm scrolling down, we have 11 projects. Again, it involves analyzing the Indian Premier League, T20 cricket, as well as the sports and the entertainment industry, and we have 11 projects. That is the highlight, guys, because working on projects is extremely important. You can check out all of our sample videos here. We have the Hadoop tutorial sample video. You can ask for any sample videos and we do provide it, guys, before purchasing the courses. And this is what a certification will look like. This course is made in association with IBM. IBM is a giant in the world of data, as you might have already known, and you will be certified by IBM and Intellipaat, and you will receive a certificate just like this, guys. If you've been wondering where we can use the certificate, guys, you can use it in a lot of companies. In fact, over 100 MNC companies, Ericsson, Cisco, Cognizant, Genpact, Standard Chartered, Saint-Gobain, Hexaware, you have Mu Sigma, you have Sony, and you have many other people, guys. In fact, here are some of the training reviews again, and we think about it, you can view more reviews, you can indulge with our learners to understand more about the courses. And here are the course advisors that work with our course to help make it better, and in fact to make it best, if I have to say, guys. And I'm sure you guys have questions, right? So we have an entirely dedicated FAQ, frequently asked questions section here that will answer all of your questions that you might have. And provided if you have any more questions, I'm just gonna guide you through on how you can reach out to us. But before that, I need to keep up my promise with you guys, because guys, make sure to use the coupon code YouTube30, all in capital, YOUTUBE30, to get a flat 30% off on all of the courses that we offer here at Intellipaat. This is a special coupon code just for the viewers of this particular video. This is our contribution to make sure you get into the fast track way on how you can become big data engineers, professionals, and masters in this industry, or in fact any industry when we talk about the world of information technology, guys. And on that note, you have reached the end of this session, guys. If you have any suggestions, if you have any questions, or if you're confused about what course you need to pick up or what technology that you need to pick up, guys, our course advisors are standing by 24 hours, 7 days of the week, 365 days of the year to basically help you out. So we have the Indian number and the United States number on your screen, so make sure to hit us up and we will reach out to you and help you at the earliest. But then if you're more of a sales if you're more of an email person, you can shoot us a mail, sales@intellipaat.com, and our course advisors again will get back to you at the earliest on that as well, guys. So I hope you guys have an amazing day ahead, and I hope you guys took away a lot from this session and in fact learned a lot, guys. It is still January, it is 2020, it is the most fresh start that you're going to get in this decade. So make sure to work on your certifications, make sure to work on good training, and at the same time, if you get best of both worlds, guys, you're getting certified in technologies, you're learning a lot, you have industry level projects to work with and much more. So make sure to use all of that in full swing to get a good job, in fact to get a dream job, guys. So on that note, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Until then, have a nice day.